Hey, what's up guys, Sidica here, and today we're actually doing some computer builds. As you can see, pretty much just going to be going through like a couple different price ranges and showing you guys how cheaply you can build computers and what you would have to spend on a computer for what settings you want to play your games at, for what games you want to play, things like that. So this is actually a little bit harder of a screen, so if you guys want to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, it helps a lot. The reason I say this is a harder stream is because I've never done something like a stream on the desktop like this. So I'm really trying to get everything like audio figured out and everything like that, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get everything working pretty much is what I'm doing right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to hop in on PCPARTPICKER. So that's the first thing we're going to use. I actually downloaded Opera just for this stream because I don't want to use Google at the same time as Google again while I was doing, because I have YouTube running twice actually, so I can view my stream, plus so I can have the music in the back, plus yeah, I didn't want to, yeah, so I just run Opera anyway. So it's a new instance, new web browser. Here we go. So we do have a couple other things here. So we have AliExpress, eBay, and Amazon. We will also be using those just to search through parts and look at things, you know what I mean? But we're going to start out on PCPARTPICKER over here. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go for an ultra budget PC, because I already have a feeling a lot of people are going to be looking to get into games that I play, like Unturned, things like that, and all of those games that I play mostly. Let's show you guys actually real quick. Black Ops 2, Unturned, you won't be pushing games like Borderlands 3 and Black Ops 3. Both those you won't be able to run, but most of these games right here, you'll be able to run most all of these games right here, except for those two, maybe three games right here. On this ultra budget, I'm going to be aiming for right around $300 on this build, so we're going to be pushing for that. We might even be able to push a little bit lower. We're going to be going for something that's going to be not as cheap as you can go, but also not, we're going to be cutting a lot of corners at the same time. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go AMD, because AMD is obviously where it comes in the budget territory. You can't get better. So we got like the 3200G, which we are going to go for an APU build. So if you don't know what that is, it's when you put the processor and the graphics card onto one chip. So a lot of Intel CPUs are like this, except for Xeons. And that's how you can use a computer without a graphics card, because the graphics card's on the processor. Well, APUs have kind of like a beefed up graphics card on the processor, so you can actually get by playing on a couple of them. So what we're going to want to go ahead and do is we're going to go to Ryzen 3. And as you can see, we have the 2200G, the 3200G, both right here for $94 and $84. So I would really like to see if we could fit one of those in there. The 3200G would be better, but for a $300 price range, I really don't know if we're going to be able to fit either of those. We might have to go for an Athlon build. So we'll go AMD and just sort lowest by price, and we should have an Athlon 200GE here. Let's go into here. We'll just go AM4 just to simplify that a little bit. So we have the Athlon 200GE for $55, but we also, the 3000GE for $58. That's what we're getting right there. There's no question about that. So we're going to grab the 3000GE because that does support overclocking. We are probably going to try to fit an overclocking motherboard in here for sure. Whether that's B350 or B450, we will see. But we're going to see if we can get by with it. If not, we might just have to not deal with the overclocking. But the 3000G is a better chip than the 200, 220, or 230G, or GE, or whatever all of those other Athlon chips are. Definitely go with the 3000G if you're going to go with an Athlon chip. And at this budget, the Athlon chip's kind of the only choice, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and we're going to move over to the motherboard. Let's see if we can fit in a B350 or B450 motherboard. So we're going to go B350 or B450 because those are overclocking, and just sort by the lowest price. So we have one here for $63. That's B450, so we know it'll be supported. We really can't go wrong with that, honestly. B450 and music's kind of loud, no problem, I can get that down, man. Perfect. Thank you for the input. Yeah, I can turn that right down. Perfect. Alright. Back to it, anyway. For the motherboard, like I said, we're going to go for something B450. or $350, but we found a B450 right here, and it's actually only $63, so that's not bad at all. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add that to the parts list. So far we've only got $122 invested in this, and that's two of the most important parts in a build like this. We've got overclock ability on the CPU, and we've got overclock ability on the motherboard. So overclock ability is completely supported. We're good to go. So for RAM, Athlon or AM4 chips in general, Ryzen or Athlon chips strive on fast memory. Faster the memory, the better. So when you see speed, you want the fastest memory you can get. Obviously, we're not going to go for some $5,900, you know, we don't need anything like that. But what we're going to go ahead and do is we will sort by lowest price. And we're going to want anywhere from $29.33 all the way up to like 33.33. We ain't gonna hit any 3400 megahertz, I don't think. Sort by lowest price, and we're gonna want at least 8 gigabytes. So we're gonna get two 4 gigabytes because we're gonna want to run dual channel RAM, because dual channel is gonna double the speed if we run 2 sticks instead of 1. And the cheapest one we have right here is for $40, and it's 3,000. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna pick that up. It's Viper, Patriot. It's good brand, nothing wrong with it. We'll go ahead and we'll pick that up, and it'll match the black nice on the motherboard anyway. So next we're gonna need storage. So if you're not going with an SSD in 2019 or 2020, wow, I'm backwards. Even 2019, 2020, 2019, either one, you're out of date. You need to be running an SSD. It's gonna speed everything up so much more than what you're running right now if you're not. So pretty much I'm just gonna go by sort lowest price and SSD and see what I can find. Kingston, that's the first one I can tell that is actually by a reputable brand. I don't know Transcend or TC Sunbow. PNY I do know. We actually might go with that PNY. PNY is a decent brand too. And I've heard of the Inland Professional drives being pretty decent also, but as they're the same price, where do you get this? Amazon? Yeah, we're just gonna go with the PN drive. Add that. Okay, so we're not gonna go for a video card or a mass storage. That can be added at a later date for something this cheap of a build. So we're gonna go for a case. Case next. Alright, a case isn't really going to matter. If you really care about what your computer looks like, go ahead and spend a little bit more money on the case, but we're going to be going for one of the cheaper cases here, and if we can actually get this for $30, which I don't believe, no, it's $60 shipping. See, that's what you got to check for on certain things like this. Let's see what this is going for. Okay, so it would be $40 without the promo code, but with the promo code, $30. So that's a decent little case for $30. We'll go ahead and or I don't want to go search it on Newegg. We'll add it to the parts list. Ooh, hello. Okay, 211. We're getting pretty good. So for a power supply, we're not going to need a whole lot. Again, we can go pretty cheap on this. EVGA, that's the first one I've noticed that's by a reputable brand. It doesn't look like it's 80 plus certified of any sort. 75% efficiency. Honestly, I don't think we can really go wrong with this. I mean, it ain't gonna be pretty, but for the price, we ain't gonna really get a cheaper power supply by a reputable brand, that's for sure. So we'll go ahead and we'll add that, and that's pretty much our computer build, guys. That's really all there is to it. We could add extras like a CPU cooler, but we have one included with the CPU, so we'll be fine there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we actually can bump this up and say screw Athlon, get rid of Athlon, and go right for Ryzen 3. which is what I wanted to do in the beginning of this. I didn't know if I was going to have enough money, but we do. Perfect. $3,200, $94. Compatibility. Oh, B450, 3,200. Oh, we might have to go with. Does this have Ryzen 3 support? Amazon will tell us. It says 2,000. It doesn't say anything about 3,000. Okay. We'll backtrack a processor then. We will go back to a 2200. 2200G. We won't be losing a whole lot of performance. We'll be able to overclock. Oh my god. Do we have it? Yeah. And I'll even bring the price down by $10. So for $272, you guys can build a computer and be gaming for, like I said, $272. Like, when people tell me you can't buy a gaming computer because it's too expensive over a console and everything, I mean, you will get console performance for $300. You won't be able to max out your settings. You won't be able to play at higher resolutions than what a console plays at. You won't be playing at PS4 Pro settings, just average PS4 or Xbox One. But for $300, that's about what you're paying brand new for a console, give or take $50. And you're getting so much more for that $50 that you would be spending more on the computer, given, you know, you can access a web page, you can go to YouTube and everything so much easier. It's just they're two completely different computers, and consoles are just completely different. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to save this, and we will save this as $300 build. So $300. Save. Okay, and start new. This is like the next level up. So this is the point where you've been on your console, you've played on your console or your console level computer long enough, or you want to get into computers and you have a little bit more money and you know you're going to want more performance than what your console or a console level PC would be outputting. You know you want to be able to push your settings a little bit more, and you know you want to be able to play at 1080p on all of your games. This is kind of what I would call the next level up, and I really wouldn't go any lower than this. If you're going to buy a graphics card, I wouldn't go lower than this, only because you're just going to be wasting money at that point to go lower and still buy a graphics card. So for your CPU, the first thing I'm going to recommend is going to be Ryzen 5 2600. I can't recommend anything other than that because of the price. When you're getting a $120 processor for 6 cores, 12 threads, 3.9 gigahertz, boost clock on stock, you really can't beat that right now. Other than the Ryzen 5 1600 AF, which is actually like $80 or $90, but I have not been able to find any of those. I don't know if it's not in America or something, but I had heard they were in America, and I cannot find a 1600 AF anywhere. Comes up to 3600s, 2200Gs, but no 1600 AF. They were told to be around $85, which was pretty much what you were getting, but it was going to be 6 cores, 12 threads at a little bit slower base clock, but it was pretty much a 2600 with a slower clock is what it was, but the same cores, so it was just a cheaper 2600 really. Just overclock it, and it was for $80. Perfect. Anyway, moving on. Motherboard. I can't really recommend too low of a motherboard for this price range either, only because this is the price that you're getting into where you know you're going to be upgrading in the future, and this is such a good socket for upgrading because you can go all the way up to you know, 12 core, I think 12 core 24 thread, or it might, hold on, yeah, we'll find out. I'll ensure this. Anyway, for a motherboard, what we're going to be going and doing is we're going to look at a couple of these. We're not going to fit X570, but we can still fit a B450 board that's going to be a little bit prettier, a little bit better for overclocking and everything like that in the budget. And we're going to go for ATX because ATX is going to support for a lot more upgrades in the future. Even though MATX is still pretty good, there's no reason not to go for ATX at this point. Okay, so for $99, you really can't go wrong with a Horus Elite. Okay, perfect. So we'll go ahead and we'll throw that in. So we're already up to about the price of the other system minus the processor. So that's just two parts. You can tell computers can get very expensive, but this still really isn't getting anywhere yet. Towards the end of the stream, you guys are gonna be like, wow, computers are too expensive. Why do people play on these? Anyway, for memory, you're gonna want at least 16 gigabytes. I'm not gonna recommend anything lower at the next jump up. For me, you're either a budget gamer or you're a mid-range gamer, and there's no in between for me. In my eyes, you either have a graphics card or you have an APU. And if you're gonna have a graphics card, there's no reason to go for $100 graphics card. You might as well just jump up into that $200 range for graphics cards and just take that mid-range plate and eat it. You know what I mean? It's not worth going for a low-end graphics card, because then you're spending $100 for, say, 20% increase on performance, and it's really not worth it at that point in my eyes. Anyway, what we're gonna go and do is, because this is Ryzen again, it loves the fast memory. We'll keep it to these three right here again, and we're gonna go for the lowest price, and 16 gigabytes is what we're gonna want, not 32, so 28. G-Skill Aegis is looking pretty good, but Ripjaw's 563. There we go. Perfect. Storage, like I said, an SSD is mandatory, so we're gonna be looking for an SSD, A400, 240 gig, perfect, $35. Add storage. At this price range, you really don't have to do that low to high price sort. You can really kind of eyeball things and see what you're going with and what you're gonna want to do. What we are going to do though, because there is a really good deal on a hard drive right now. So if we go up to 3,000 gigabytes and we go price lowest to highest, we have this right here, the Skyhawk Surveillance. We have this right here, the Seagate ST4000N, which this is the one I was actually looking at earlier. No, we want 7200 RPM. This is not what I was looking at earlier. Where did my hard drives go? I don't think we have it anymore. It might have come off sale. Damn it. Well, that makes this a little bit harder. Okay, so we'll go down to 2000 gig. And we'll get like an Ultra Star. Or no, we'll still go with a compute. It's only 50 bucks. We'll go with a compute. There's no reason not to. $400. This is still a pretty decent little rig for $400. You could this isn't bad actually so far. For the performance you're going to be getting out of this, the price is going to be well worth it, I promise. Next we're going to be going on for the case. We're going to save video card for last because I want to know what my budget's going to be with that. The P8. I'm surprised that's as low as the price it is. That looks cool, but probably ain't very good on airflow. Fractal. The Focus G. We might just go with the Focus G at this price range. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a Focus G. Okay, and a power supply, we're going to want something a little bit better than what we had last time for sure. So we're going to be cutting over to something maybe still EVGA for sure, because EVGA is probably going to have that price range covered. This is what's in my system right now. We might push for a little bit more wattage. We'll push for a little bit more wattage than that. We'll push for at least 500 watts. 80 plus bronze. Seasonic. We might have to go for Seasonic. Yep, that Seasonic's getting the okay. Alright, we're looking pretty good right here. We'll be able to fit the graphics card in. Oh, so the 1660 series, that's what I'm thinking right now, is the 1660 Super, hopefully. It should be going for right around $230, lowest price. I'm imagining right around that. We're not going to finish 1660 Ti, but the price really isn't that much different. Yep, okay, so $230 price range ends here and goes here. So you can already see these three have aluminum heat sinks. This one's got a better fin design on it for sure. Yep, we're gonna be going with this one. Perfect. $700. So for $700, you can be live streaming games like I do. This is actually better than the computer I game on. So if I was to explain my computer, downgrade me to that Ryzen 3 2200G, because that's actually what's in my computer from the last build, and then downgrade me from a 1660 Super down to a GTX 1060. So it was actually last generation. This is the replacement for that card, so this is actually going to be better than what I have also. But I paid more than this for my card. Not gonna lie, I didn't anyway. My mother did. Oh god, 2 years ago. 1060 had just come out. It was right before the mining craze had really come to a thing. It was like $240, $250 for the card, and then not long after that, $300 you could sell them for all day. It was pretty crazy, honestly. Okay, moving on. So we got that. That's not too bad. We'll save that.
The others don't understand what's coming. Escape the
Yeah, 7.
now streaming.
And then the last build we're going to be going for that's strictly PC part picker is going to be our expensive build. The build that if I was going to go ahead and build a computer right now, and I had the money to build a computer, what I would recommend buying for parts is you're not going to be wasting money, and you're going to have a really good time with the computer. You know what I mean? You're going to enjoy using the computer. You're not going to be wasting any money at the same time. But it's not going to be slow. You're not going to have any slowdowns. You're not going to notice anything different from the super high-end computers until you push your computer to 4K, 1440p gaming. In some situations, 1440p will actually be fine. Most situations until you get to higher-end gaming. So what I would recommend is the Ryzen 5 3600, hands down. So you're getting Ryzen 7 2600 or 2700 performance out of the Ryzen 5 3600, which this is 8 cores, 16 threads. So for something like this, you're going to be getting 6 cores, 12 threads, 4.2 gigahertz, but on a new architecture. So this is going to be running way faster than the Ryzen 5 2600 was, with a better IPC. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add that. For the motherboard, we're going to kick things up, you know what I mean? We're not going with the lower end motherboards anymore. We're kicking it up to X570. We ain't playing around with this build. Sort lowest by price, because X570 is X570. As long as you can have some decent VRMs and everything cooling on there, then you're good to go. So we're going to want something that's going to be pretty cheap, but also look nice, look fancy. I have an Asus TUF in my gaming computer. Not this board, but an Asus TUF B450. It still has all the same, like the top left is still the same, but the cooler on the bottom right is actually is different. Completely different chipset also. Ooh, that's looking good. Okay, We might have to go cheap though. We're gonna go for this X570 UD right here. So you're still gonna get overclocking. It's X570. It's still a really nice motherboard. It's just cheaper X570, so we're not overpaying. You know what I mean? So we're still getting our foot in the door with X570. We're just not overpaying at this point. 2, 3. So we do have multiple multiple graphics card support if we go AMD and everything, but we're not gonna be doing that anyway. Yeah, what's up?
The cake's not up.
Alright, I'm back. Oh, for memory. I'm not sure what we're going to go for memory on this. I think 16 gigabytes is still going to be that sweet spot. I couldn't imagine anything else would be too much. 32 gigabytes is kind of overkill, and anything in between that's really just kind of off. You know what I mean? You're not going to want to go 24 gigabytes or something, because then you're not going to be running all 4 of the same sticks. So let's go ahead and we will go. We're going to look for something a little bit more pretty this time. Something with some RGB in it. So let's sort by lowest price. And we will scale this up to at least 3000. And we're going to be looking for something with some RGB. We're not going to go for obnoxious like this. I couldn't imagine. Oh my god, YouTube ads are like, hello. Alright. That's obnoxious too. Why is the RGB RAM like super obnoxious? I just want a pretty build. Super loose might be the only thing we can go for at this. Ooh, yeah, we have to go with that. We have to go with that one. Alright. Storage. So we can kind of bump... we don't really need to bump storage up on this one. A 2 terabyte and a 500 gig SSD should be fine still. 2 terabytes worth of storage should be plenty for games, and a 500 gig will be plenty for operating system and files and everything like that. So we'll go ahead and we'll go above 256 SSD. It'll scale to 500 gigs or 480s, which is close enough. Kingston 480. There we go. We're gonna wait on card. Yeah, we're gonna wait on the card. So at this price range, we're not going to want to super cheap out in the case because we're going to have a little bit more power inside of the case. You know, we're going to want good cooling, we're going to want things like that. So we're actually going to have a little bit more going on in this build than we have in the past couple builds. What is that? That's almost like my case. I've got a different front panel, but other than that, my case is literally exactly the same. Oh, what am I looking for? You know, Fantech's like, X series case would be nice. Go ahead and sort by Fantech's. Let's go Fantech's with this one. There's no reason not to. They got some pretty decent little cheap cases, like a 350X. That's an awesome little case. We have to go with this one right here. That looks so clean. That'll match the motherboard perfect. With the grays in the motherboard. Yeah, that's gonna look good. Alright, so coming on to power supply, we're gonna want definitely more wattage being pushed through this build, which means definitely a higher wattage power supply. We'll go for at least 600 watts on this one, just so we have upgradability again in the future. It'll be nice to have that 600 in case you wanted to add a second card or whatever you chose to do with the build. And I think we're going to be shooting for 80 plus gold. Be Quiet's kind of a nice power supply. Yeah, Be Quiet's going to get it on this one. Now for the video card. Alright. So this is when you can start spending a little bit more money is on your video card. They do get expensive, you know what I mean? We're really going to try to push for either a 2070 or a 2070 Super. Hopefully a 2070 Super. But I don't know how that's going to... No, we're not shooting for either one. Wow. This price range is so hard to recommend a card because you could literally go pick up a GTX 1080 for $400, $300, something like that. $2060 Super is where we're going to be pushing, I guess. So I really wouldn't recommend much else other than this K552 wired gaming keyboard. It's decent. 33 bucks, can't go wrong with that. Like I said with the mouse, pretty much whatever you want, whatever fits your hand and is by a name brand is gonna do you fine. And for speakers, that's kind of where it comes into, like, it's not really whatever you want because there is different qualities to a point that will never change, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get better quality out of 7.1 surround sound than you are out of, you know, this Razer set right here is gonna give you better quality than if you were to go and spend $50 on this Z33 or Z333. But personally, I would recommend you go buy like the Z333 because it's only 2.1, or even this is 5.1. This is nice little thing, but this Leviathan or something 5.1 again, but it's a single sound bar. Yes, it's going to give you great sound, but $180, or you know, at a price like that, I don't even know where I would go. If you're looking for a cheap set of speakers, the Creative Pebble's always been a decent little set of speakers. Like I said, all depends what you're going with. You want super loud and nice speakers, go for something like a pair of Yamahas, you know what I mean? It all depends what you want. Actually, if you're gonna go with some, I would actually go with these. These are just so clean. Like a super high end, yeah, I'd go with these. for sure. No doubt. That's what it's about right there. Anyway, that's pretty much the stream. I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys a couple different price ranges you could buy computers at and show you guys that you don't have to spend this to get into computer building and computer gaming and stuff like that. And if you want to go used, you can actually go even cheaper. So let's go ahead and show you that really quick. Let's just come over to eBay and show you guys what it takes to get into computer gaming. If you want to get into computer gaming for less than $300, you want to get into computer gaming for $150, $200, $250 max. You don't want to spend a lot of money. You want to just hop in. You just want to play. You know what I mean? First thing I'd recommend is coming over to eBay and looking up Dell. Oh, I don't know. We could go for a 7010 and go lowest price, buy it now, and find something like this for $65. You don't want a Pentium G870 actually. Let's stay away from that one. Find something like this with an i3-2320 in it, or 3220. Wow, I'm dyslexic. For $75, and then come back onto eBay and find a decent little graphics card like a say RX 460. And that's about what you're looking at, is going to be $70, you know what I mean? Both ways. So that's $145 right there. So for $150 you can get into gaming super easy with a little RX 460 or something. Actually, you would need, no, these still have supplemental 6-pin, don't they? Okay, I lied. No. There we go. Just pick up a GTX 950. $60. Doesn't require a 6-pin, or it shouldn't, that I know of. There's a couple of them that do, like I think these ones do, but in a lot of cases they shouldn't require a 6-pin. This one does. But just look for a card that doesn't have these 6 little metal pins in the back. It's either a 950 or a, if you really wanted to go budget, you could go 750 Ti. And just try to hit that $60 mark with a 750 Ti. You need to be balling for that. And just do not get the Asus. The Asus does have a 6-pin, as I believe the WindForce might also have a 6-pin. Yep, WindForce also has a 6-pin. So stay away from those two cards. But other than that, you're pretty decent. You're looking good. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much all I got for this video, other than AliExpress. So if you want to head over to AliExpress, I think you might be able to get... No, they took it off, didn't they? Yep, it's gone. Yeah. But you can find it's pretty much just like eBay, except a lot of people come here who are not from America also. You can get things from America too. But yeah, you come to AliExpress and you can just pretty much buy all these things just like you can eBay. So that's pretty much what I have to recommend to you guys. Other than that, if you have any questions, just go ahead and hit me up in the comments below. I'll be sure to respond to all of them. If you want a specific computer or a specific build planned out for you, like I said, hit me up in the comments below. I'll contact you. We can get a hold of each other on Discord or something like that. I can help you out with that. I'm not really sure if I would recommend going for a $2,000, $3,000 computer. It's really not worth it, in my opinion. That $1,500 mark or that $1,100, $1,200 mark is really as high as I would want to go. I wouldn't go any higher than that. It's just not worth it at that point for me, for what I do. You know what I mean? And that's even streaming and stuff. So if you guys like this, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, I'm sure you've already showed that.